Chair, thanks for putting on this hearing today. Commissioner Shulman, I was interested, how'd you get off, how do you manage to be up on the Hill the day before tax day?
What's that?
How'd you get up on the Hill the day before tax day? I thought that was...
I was invited.
Let me mention a couple of things, and I've been in business for 30 years before I got here in 2007, and in small business primarily. Why is the tax code so complex? I mean, I read the other day, or someone showed me, the USA Today reported 60,000 pages of tax codes, deductions, and this. I can't imagine anybody ever signs a tax return as accurate, because I know in my case, I had a bunch of different businesses, and my CPAs fill it all out. We want to get it right, but isn't there a way we can simplify this process, especially for small businesses? Many of them have 15 employees or less. It just seems like it's crazy.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on it?
My thoughts are my job as Commissioner IRS is to administer the law that Congress writes and policymakers write. And so I am a big fan of simplification because I have to go out there and be the one who interacts with the American people with this complex tax code. I think, I would ask you and use your expertise. The tax code's used for everything from collecting the funds to run the government to administering credits for a variety of targeted social programs to giving breaks to different industries and different special interest groups along the way. And so I think the reason it's so complex is the tax code over the last 20 years has been used more and more for specialized purposes rather than the general raising of funds to run the government.
70,000 pages, it's amazing to me. I want to get into the heart of what I want to talk about. I know the Democrats and Republicans, all of us are focused on helping people get back to work, but yet it looks like we're going to take our taxes up to 39.6, and then they're asking for a surtax of 5.4. Now, most businesses, I'm in Florida, 99% of the businesses registered in Tallahassee, our capital, are classified as small businesses. Most small businesses, have pass-through income, whether they're an LLC, sub-S, partnership, sole proprietorship, whatever they might be. So it just seems strange to me in a time where we're trying to create jobs, we're going to be raising taxes from 34% to 45%. Is that your understanding of what this will net out to be if the Bush tax cuts sunset and we add a 5.4% surtax to people making over 200 or 250,000, which are, a lot of those people I know, a lot of those people are running small businesses. So we're going to add another 10% in tax to their bottom line, which is another liability. Is that your understanding?
I would defer you to the Joint Committee on Tax. Again, my job is to interface with the American people, to run the tax system, to administer the laws on the book, not to run the economics of where the different.
I'm not asking the economics. I'm asking for your understanding. My understanding is that it's going to take the top tax bracket if the tax cuts do sunset up to 39.6, and then another 5.4 surtax, which I told you most small businesses, have pass-through income. So it seems to me, because I get asked this, I go to a town hall meeting, people are saying, what is the net, the top tax bracket? I've got a person that's got, 40 jobs. I'm trying to figure out how to get some cash flow. I can't borrow from the banks. I need access to capital. Are they going to charge me another 10% in tax? I think that's something you should know, ideally, or should figure out.
Yeah. No, I don't want to respond to a bunch of moving numbers and do it inaccurately for you. So I'd be happy to work with my colleagues at Treasury, work with your staff, and get you that net effect so you can answer.
Yeah, let me know, because I'd like to know that. The other thing is that in terms of the jobs bill, maybe you can run this down too. The president and I both agree. I talked to him. He was up in Baltimore about the idea of taking capital gains to zero from 15%, just conceptually with the idea at some point that would sunset. And the reason I think it's important, because there is a lot of capital on the sidelines. People don't have confidence in the economy. I would just say they don't have confidence in the Congress and the administration, a lot of small business people. Do you have an opinion on that or a thought at all about capital gains? I think the president supports it, not forever, but for a period of time. I support it because I think small businesses, our community banks in our area have been decimated. They did a lot of lending 3 years ago. Banks aren't lending in general. So again, we're trying to find a way to get capital available, and there is some capital. There are people that have money, but they don't have the confidence. But yet, if it goes to zero, maybe for a couple of years, it could make capital available for people that invest it in the small businesses. Or
So there's actually a proposal in the President's 2011 budget to have no capital gains for certain investments for entrepreneurs in small businesses. And so I think conceptually, my understanding is, I haven't talked to the President about this, can't speak for him, but that he's been quite supportive of this. I ran a small business, started one, and so I totally understand the
I like you a lot more.
all the things from operations to raising funds, et cetera. And I think again, it's not the arena I spend my time playing in, is the policy arena. I spend my time in the administration arena, on the numbers on the books. But I think anything we can do to get funds and capital to small businesses is a good thing.
The other thing, we have an ag community in our area, pretty substantial ag community, of course, all across the country, and a lot of small businesses. I'm against raising, taxes or the tax amount that we've got on estate taxes. Where does that set today? Is it your understanding that if someone passed away today, they pay zero, the next year they pay 55? Is that where that sets today?
I think it's in flux. I mean, that's what's on the books now, but I think Congress hasn't decided what it wants to do. I think there's been talk about people taking it up. I think we're not in a good situation right now because there's uncertainty, right? So yes, if someone died today, there's the estate tax has expired, but Congress has the option to make it retroactive, and there's different parts of the provision. So I think right now, for my job and for the American people, it's not in a good place.
We have in our area a lot of...
The gentleman's time has expired.
Thank you.
The chair next recognizes the